So dead silence, which has been a staple perk in almost every Call of Duty game, is a shell of its former self in Modern Warfare. It's been reduced to nothing more than a field upgrade, which in this game is basically like a special ability you get every so often. The description states that dead silence temporarily makes your footsteps quieter. Now if you weren't aware, since this game's release, this field upgrade has been broken. Enemies were able to hear your footsteps even when you use dead silence. However, as of the most recent update, this has been fixed, and I'll be showing you exactly how dead silence works now, as well as proving that it is completely silent once again. So first off, the field upgrade lasts for approximately 15.25 seconds. However, this is a special field upgrade, and what I mean by that is that you can refresh the duration to an unlimited amount of time. The only way to achieve this refresh is by getting a kill while it's active. As you can see here, the moment I kill an enemy, the entire duration of dead silence refreshes. Now unfortunately, this only works with gun kills. Getting an explosive kill, for instance, does not refresh it. So essentially, you could have dead silence running the entire match if you keep getting a kill every 15 seconds. Of course, with these outrageously large maps, that's likely not going to happen. Now as for the charge rate of this field upgrade, it's listed as fast. I timed it out to be approximately every 94 seconds without any perks boosting it. I was expecting it to charge at different times depending on the game mode, but as far as I can tell, it was 94 seconds in every mode there is, including free-for-all and search and destroy. However, there's a perk in category 3 that's called tune-up, and the description of this states that it'll increase the charge rate of field upgrades by 50%. When running this, it made dead silence charge every 62.35 seconds. And rounded down, that's about every minute you'll be getting dead silence. You can increase the field upgrade charge meter even further by getting score during a match. For example, killing an enemy or capping a flag will give your meter a significant boost, as you can see here. Next up, there's been a lot of speculation as to whether or not dead silence actually increases your movement speed. You'll notice that when you activate it, your field of view zooms out and it almost appears like you get increased movement. After doing a bit of testing on this, it turns out to be true. I ran this alleyway 2 times on the same match, once without dead silence and once with. The one without, I clocked in at 9.25 seconds. After activating dead silence using the same weapon in my hand, I ran it in 8.57 seconds. So I'm not sure if this is actually intended or not, but it's not like you'll be setting any world records with this minimal increase in speed. Regardless, it technically does make you faster for the 15 seconds you'll be using it. So now let me show you the newly buffed effects of dead silence. First, here's my friend Jeremy running at me without the dead silence field upgrade. I'll be turning up the audio here so you can hear it more clearly. Now here's him running the same route, but with dead silence. As you can hear, there's absolutely no sound anymore while utilizing this field order. Again though, before this update today, you could definitely hear footsteps even with dead silence. So this is how the field order should have been working since day one. No footsteps whatsoever. Speaking of footsteps, let me just show you really quick how far you can hear someone running at you. From where I was standing in this alleyway all the way to this brick building is where you can hear someone running. Likewise, from the same starting spot all the way to this white line is where you could hear an enemy walking from. And again, here was the distance of him running. So without dead silence, the footsteps are incredibly loud in this game. Now let's test some jumping and sliding. First, here's some audio of Jeremy jumping without dead silence. Now here's the audio with dead silence and with him jumping. Once again, completely silent. Now sliding in this game is a different story, oddly enough. Here's the audio of him sliding without dead silence. Now here's the audio of him sliding with it. As you heard, you can still faintly hear the sliding noise even with dead silence activated. With that in mind, I'd highly recommend not sliding while utilizing it. Lastly, it doesn't appear that it mutes opening doors, swapping weapons, or meleeing. I tested all these with dead silence and it doesn't mute any of those sounds. It only mutes your footsteps to enemies when walking, running, and jumping. Now again, oddly enough, it doesn't entirely mute your own footsteps. Listen to the audio here as I activate dead silence from my own perspective.
Enemy at the yellow building.
You can definitely still hear your own footsteps, but obviously not as loud as without it. And that, as they say, is that. There was a lot of controversy about dead silence in Modern Warfare, mostly because it didn't work correctly. As you saw in this review, they clearly fixed whatever issues were plaguing it before. It now successfully silences your footsteps while walking, running, and jumping, but not while sliding or performing any other actions such as opening a door. Despite this buff to how it was supposed to originally work, the fact that it's not a perk and that it only lasts 15 seconds is truly disappointing. In a game where footsteps are outrageously loud to begin with, a permanent silence via a perk would have been a godsend. Sadly, it appears we just have to live with this field upgrade for now.